Hello and welcome to Compass Rose Law Firm. I'm David Hanson, owner and attorney. We're based out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Today we're going to be tackling the important aspect of funding your revocable living trust and how, by doing so properly, can bring you greater peace of mind. So before we jump into that, I just want to make sure that you understand that this video is provided as general educational information. It is not intended to be legal advice. The information about revocable living trusts varies greatly from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. And so it's important that for your specific needs that you consult with a competent legal professional in your jurisdiction. As we consider revocable living trusts, it's important to understand that there are lots of types of trusts. Many of them are irrevocable and much more advanced. We're going to talk about the more basic revocable living trust. This is a trust that is made by you during your life and is revocable and amendable prior to your death. So as we talk about revocable living trusts, one of the main reasons that you engage a revocable living trust is to avoid probate. Now, probate is the court-supervised procedure utilized to transfer the assets owned by a person during their life to their heirs or beneficiaries after their death. So, by creating a revocable living trust, you can allow for your loved ones to avoid the delays and the costs and the stress of dealing with a probate process. Okay, so now let's talk about the power of ownership transfer. So once you've created a revocable living trust, you need to transfer assets into the trust. So you might think, wait a minute, I don't want to give away my assets. Well, in order for the revocable living trust to work the way it's designed, you do want to give ownership away. So you'll give ownership to the trustee of your revocable living trust. But the beauty of it is that you can appoint yourself as trustee during your life. So although you no longer have ownership of the asset, you do have control of it as trustee of the trust. So you get the benefit of avoiding probate, but maintaining control of the assets. So when you transfer things like your home or your antique guitar collection or other assets into the trust, they are inside the trust's protective bubble. They'll avoid probate, but you'll be able to maintain control during your life. Okay, so let's break it down. Why does this ownership matter? Well, the ownership matters because it's the trust that has legal control. So this means that if anything happens to you, the trust can seamlessly manage and distribute the assets according to your wishes as outlined in the trust. So remember, the only thing that a trust can protect is what is owned within that legally protective bubble of the trust. So the next question you may be asking is, well, who gets to control the trust when I die? That's an excellent question. And the beauty of the revocable living trust is that you get to appoint your successor trustee, the person who will step in and control and manage the trust after you become incapacitated or deceased. Okay, so your next question might be, how do I transfer ownership into the trust? Well, I want to consider 3 steps. First, you need to organize. Next, you need to transfer. And finally, you need to maintain. So let's talk about that. First, you need to decide deliberately what should be owned by the trust and what should not. Depending on various aspects of the types of investments and assets you own, there could be various tax and other ramifications that should be considered. And so you want to carefully consider what assets you want to transfer into the trust. Second is the actual transfer. You need to take the legally significant steps to transfer the ownership out of your name and into the name of the trust. Third, you need to maintain. When you make those transfers, you need to maintain records so that the trustee who steps in after you can know what assets are legally owned by the trust. Not only do you need to maintain records of the initial transfers, but as you go through life and you sell things from the trust, you buy things in the name of the trust, you'll want to maintain records throughout your lifetime to ensure that you don't have unexpected consequences down the road due to lack of maintaining records. So again, those 3 steps are organize, transfer, and then maintain. So there you have it. Transferring ownership into your revocable living trust is like giving your assets a VIP ticket into the trust's safety net. However, the trust can only protect what it legally owns. Thank you so much for trusting Compass Rose Law Firm. We'll see you next time.